I have a story about vision so you can understand what I mean by vision. And the story goes basically, there's two sets of Indians way, way back when. And the Indians were the mountain Indians and the valley Indians. And the mountain Indians were the warriors. And the valley Indians were basically farmers. And you know the type of winter we had last year? Yes, no, maybe? Come on, you gotta be with me on this, okay? You know that really cold winter. Well, it didn't help the crops, and it didn't help having a lot of food around. And the mountain Indians, who were warriors, said, hey, we don't have a whole lot of food up there, and it's really cold. We're going down to the valley, and we're going to pick up whatever food we can get from these agrarians, and we're going to take it from them. And they go down. They take whatever they can of the grain that they have, and they bring it up. And one of the Indians, one of the warrior Indians, brings up this little baby. And the farming Indians say, you know, we're really angry at what they did. They took the crops, they took to this, they took to that, and they took the baby. And what they did was they formed a group now of a bunch of fearless, as much as you can, farmers, and they said, we're going up the hill, and we're going to get that baby. So they basically form a group in about a week or so, about 50 Indians, and they were all set to go up there, and they start talking about how they're going to do this, how they're going to do that, and they start to go up. About 100 feet, 200 feet up the hill, they're going up. And now it's maybe 2-3 days pass, and now they go up another 200, 300 feet. And then by the second week, they're up maybe 500 feet or 1,000 feet, and they're starting to climb the mountain. And they see this young girl going up the hill. And they're looking. And now they're going up the hill a little bit more, and she goes ahead of them. And 2 or 3 days pass, and all of a sudden they hear all this commotion, yelling and screaming and what have you. And they're saying, what's going on? An hour goes by, and the lady comes down with the baby. And they're aghast. They're saying, what happened? How did you end up getting the baby with all these fearless warriors around you? And they say, basically, how did you do that? We're like, 50, 60 Indians, and we were afraid. How did you do it? And she said, it's not your baby. And that's what you have to do in life. And that's what you have to do in business. And when I'm advising businesses, and when I'm advising young attorneys, or attorneys going out to basically develop a business, you got to find your baby. You got to find out what you love, your unique ability. You got to take it, and you got to run with it. And that's what each one of you have a challenge to get that. Get the baby. Because the baby is the important thing. So that's what I mean by vision. Anybody have any questions about that? I'll give you an example of what I've done. I only do the things I like doing. I'm a former prosecutor. I did a lot of family court work. Thankfully, 1981-82 came around, and I made a decision, I'm not doing it anymore. I never want to go into family court again if I don't have to. There's never a decision there, et cetera, et cetera. However, on criminal cases, there's a decision usually made. Either the person's going to jail, or the person's getting out and he's going to be on probation, or the case is going to be dismissed, or something else. So I found my baby in that I do a lot of criminal law, I do a lot of personal injury. Personal injury is really good in that there's an ending to it. Either you're going to settle the case, or you're going to try the case, and you're going to come up with an amount of money. One way or the other, you're going to be finished with it sometime. I found you're married to the married cases, the divorce cases. But for me, that's not good. But for somebody else, it may be a great idea. Find your